point. Since you are going to get the video. So I am using sub green because it's probably more visible on this. Well, quality is great, so maybe the lightest one would be visible too. Make a pool of green for the future versions of leaves on my paper. And try to just use the tip of your brush for this, so you can hold the little finger like that, like for more precision. And just try painting some loose leaves, remembering not to do the same shape each time. It should look something like this. So not only like spots created this way, it will be too obvious, too regular. The more irregular it will be, the better. So try to imagine the leaves seen from top, from the edge, from different angles. So you will need to move the brush actually, but every time you need to create a very, very small leaf, then hold your little finger like this, and it will be slightly easier. But it's more important for the branches actually to have the little finger prepared, because sometimes after painting the leaves we need to connect them with the little branches as well. It should look something like this. And the bigger brush, the bigger leaves as well. Also, if you want, switch to a different shade of green at some point. And before the first shade of green will be dry, they should nicely connect. And sometimes use the side of the brush, not just the tip, right? It depends what we are painting, but the surface of the paper is rough, so you can use the dry brush effect as well, which will be more useful for the trees in the background than it is in the foreground. Still, it's worth experimenting. And after scratching the surface of the paper with the side of the brush, you can still re-upload some paint in some areas, and it's also very, very nice transition between the shades of green. Sarah, give me another word for transition, or I will overuse it.
When one colour goes into
Yeah.
flow? Yeah, like blend.
Merge.
Oh, thank you. I need to write that down.
That's a word.
Yeah, so for now, just play with the round brush.
How wet, when you're doing the leaves, how wet is your paint? Would you say it's kind of like milky in consistency? Or dry brush? Is it thick?
Maybe you should just take a look on my palette.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of like, yes, milk. Yeah.
It shouldn't be too light, or it will dry almost invisible, you know.
Yeah, I like the colours, they're very vibrant. How do they dry? Do they dry much lighter?
No,
No.
only slightly lighter as usual in watercolor, but it's still very vibrant. And set of this paper from Magnani, and those paints are like created for each other. That's why I use it quite a lot during workshops. Oh, since we are, I didn't leave the room for one thing, but maybe I will just do a small example. We just painted on the dry paper, right? But it behaves very differently when it's sprayed with water, like from this distance, not too close. We don't want a pool of water. We just want the droplets of water. So I cover with my hand the leaves we just created, and just make it slightly wet on the side, and like try doing the same thing but on the wet surface, and see what happens. It's usually used when painting something that's backlit. Actually, or misty. The edges aren't as precise as they would be. And one thing is spraying it first, and the other thing is spraying it again on top. And sometimes even tilting the surface. So if you are working sometimes with watercolors that dry, separating into two different shades, this spraying with water would make it even more obvious. The edges will have different color than the middle part of the leaves.
Katarzyna, couple of questions.
Yeah.
One is, how wet is the paper when you start? As in, is it shiny or is it just...
No, so just droplets of
just
water.
droplets, okay?
Then I paint the leaves again and spray it again. If I see that it doesn't, the paint doesn't spread as much as I want, I spray it again on top.
Yeah, that's the second question. How do you avoid cauliflower back washes?
You can't.
You can. Well, I will talk about it more when we
Okay.
will be working on the landscape. But for now, for creating the leaves, actually cauliflowers sometimes are the magic trick. Like for the bushes and trees and leaves. Sometimes I create them on purpose.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, and did you all see my Domestika course? Because some of those exercises are the same, but some will be different. I didn't show all of my secrets. It was too cheap on Domestika.
So are we going to put in a WhatsApp group?
If you want, I can create a WhatsApp group, and if not, I will just send the link to the video via email. But the WhatsApp group is useful as well for showing off your works after the workshops, for example, and like driving together tomorrow, maybe. Oh, since you only have the round brush, you can borrow my triangular brushes just to see how it works when the shape of the
Triangle.
Yeah.
That's-
This is from Rosemary and Co, so I believe it's a British company, right? You have Rosemary and Co here in UK.
Yeah.
So this is the softer one, and this is Roman Szmal, again, a Polish brand. And it's more obvious in the Roman Szmal one that the metal part, how does it call?
Feral, yeah.
The ferrule shape is triangle. Just so the point of the brush is different. You can just borrow and like. Oh, you have? Cool.
There's just different ones. The sword brushes as well, I think.
It will be useful.
Oh, that's naughty. Yeah. So I'll just pop them over there.
So yeah, the triangular brushes and the sword brushes that Sarah has sometimes make it easier to paint the leaves. I also have the sword brush.
Yeah.
So maybe yeah. Let's
They're not
triangular
expensive,
brush
to
is
be honest.
going to be here.
Yeah,
So
they're quite-
maybe.
It's really difficult to paint random.
Yes,
So the good thing about those long sword brushes is because they're so wobbly.
I know they do the job.
They do,
for you.
yeah. They
I know.
help you. So they're quite good brushes.
So again,
Sometimes it's knowing when to use them, isn't it? Because-
yeah. So the little one I have is from Princeton. Hopefully this is a company you have in UK. The cool thing about them is that you can paint the bigger areas as well as the very, very little leaves and
Oh,
The-
I gotcha.
branches, everything actually. And I also love them for clouds for the same reason, the unevenness of the shape they can create. And it's both cool for painting clouds and for painting trees. So sometimes I just use the dry brush effect with the sword and then spray it with water more on the edge like that to make it flow. It's really fun thing to do. And the harsher the surface of the paper, the more interesting effect you will get, basically. But yeah, if you want, you just can try mine or the ones from Sarah. Just when you create a bigger pool of green, always try to make the edge more tree-like, you know. It was too regular at first. I find it way easier to do it with sword brushes and the triangular ones than the round brush. And this one is with soft hair. I don't remember what it was, but it's synthetic. Probably an imitation of squirrel again. And this one is just nylon. I don't know the name again in English, but it's synthetic, quite stiff.
So you hold this brush that way again?
You need to like roll it in your hand and create different shapes each time. So I move it around, sometimes using only the tip, sometimes the side of it. And it's again more natural looking than, and I guess faster than the round one. It can be done with the round brush, but it's so much easier with the triangular and the sword. And the soft one obviously holds more paint and water, so we have more time to create the shapes we like. And again, sometimes I just do this movement with my hand, like improvising a lot, leaving some white spaces.
So you hold your brush very close.
Quite close, yeah. But if someone wants, it can be held like this. I just like the precision of this way of holding brush. And again, sometimes using the tip, sometimes the side. And
Could you move the paper a little bit so that we can
yes, sorry.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh. So one more time. Using the side will create the little dots of white that would make painting the tree slightly easier. And every now and then just spray it with water so the little dots will connect. And let's not forget about splashing some paint, right? Because you can start with any brush you like and then move on to different color, like the Hooker's green, for example, to create some shadows. And I find it easier to splash the paint with brush that's not too soft, like the green one is awesome. Yeah, and the texture both on the first version of our trees, on the sword brush version and the triangular brush. And this one was the most wet, that's why the new darker green connected more evenly with the first layer. This upper left corner is like too much dots in it, but we still can spray some water on top. So if you decide to add another layer, you can always make it wet again and it looks more natural now. Unless you want the little dots, then you can like hold your hand to cover them at some place and spray them with water on the other side. It's again more natural when it's blends, even if just on one side. Oh, and the paper towel is for all of the excess water, right? And removing the mistake. You know you have the option to remove mistakes, right? In watercolor. You are not painting for the first time in your life, right?
No.
Okay. So if you were, I probably needed to mention that you can remove mistakes easily with paper towel when it's wet. But since you already painted something in your life, you know. But still, we are going to use this brush for the landscapes to create even more clearances in the leaves. Oh, since we were splashing some paints to create shadows in the what's the name for masa liści?
Branches.
Kind of
Leaves, but it's like a
kind of
branch of trees. Lots of leaves.
Lots of leaves. Oh yeah, foliage. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you can splash the paint to create the shadows in the foliage, but you can also just start with splashing the paint. And this is what I'm going to do now. Just mixing in some more Hooker's green, but you don't have to. It doesn't matter what color it will be. Just do something like this. I like to use my other hand to create those splashes, but some artists do it like this. I don't know why. You have to decide which method is better. And every now and then you would like to leave those dots like they are. And sometimes it's again more natural to spray some water on top and connect them again, creating the little branches and holding the little finger straight for more precision. Oh, and since we are splashing, don't forget you have the toothbrush as well. And that's cheapest.
Are all the toothbrushes put out? Did
Uh,
the last two?
Last one might not be there, but I can borrow mine after I finish.
Okay.
Unless you have a toothbrush somewhere.
Has everybody got a toothbrush?
Yes.
Yes. Fine, that's fine. As long as we've got one. It's only maybe that one, and I think it's in the bag. That's fine.
Okay. We can borrow the brushes actually. Not everyone need to have one on the table. But what I'm going to show is slightly smaller droplets of paint. That's easier to make them with brush. So you apply the paint, and for me it's slightly easier to use a dried paint. That's why I am using the palette like this one, and I squeeze the paint before the classes. They dried, and it's just slightly easier for me to apply the right amount of pigment this way, but it's still possible to do it with the paint straight from the tube. And again, if you paint architecture, that might be some kind of texture on the wall or on the ground. If we are painting leaves, that's just little leaves in the distance, like in the beginning of the spring. Sometimes they are so small, it's useless to try to paint each leaf, right? It's easier to create a mass like this. And again, you can spray it with water on top or leave the little dots. And sometimes the toothbrush is more for creating the gradient of colors in the background. So just remember to clean it before we will start painting the landscape, right? We will definitely use it for the sky, and the brush shouldn't be green then. So yeah, splashing paint both from brush and the toothbrush is a cool idea.
Can you show how the toothbrush again, please? Yes.
How? I hold it with one hand and like right away moving my
Okay, very.
thumb
Yes.
close
Thank
to
you.
the surface.
Thank you.
And if you are worrying you will destroy something on your work, then probably again covering some parts with the other hand is a good idea, or with a paper towel
That's what happened.
everywhere. Yeah. Oh, and probably you should also try making a green square somewhere and just sprinkle some salt on top of it. That's another useful texture that I'm guessing you already know. So for each of the previous steps, it also could be done before the paint will dry. You can add a few pieces of salt. How do you call it?
Grains or so?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not all of you, salt is over here near my paintings, and you can also use this one.
Sorry, I missed that. When would you? Oh, sorry, to see that.
Yeah,
So you
just
put a big
salt.
wash and then just drop some salt. on
Yeah.
there.
And some people again spray it with water on top if the first layer of paint was already drying. But I can see it probably will work just fine, so I'm not spraying it with more water. Salt.
Thanks, Alison. Did you drop this salt over?
This is another one here.
Does anybody else need salt?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll do is just put this. You're welcome.
Oh, nice.
It's quite interesting when you put extra water on just half
Mm-hmm.
and compare the two.
Yeah. Oh, also, you can, if the salt won't listen to you, you can always just splash clear water. Maybe we should add this texture as well on below. Mm,
Did you just, sorry, I wasn't watching. Did you just splash it with your back of your brush?
not yet, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Sorry for my writing. Probably hard to read.
No, it's
But
all
yeah.
right. Yeah, perfect.
So I'm taking the Hooker's green because it will be more visible probably. And the splashing water from the brush should happen at similar stage as the sprinkling salt. It should be wet, but not like too much pool of water on top of your paper. So just to experiment, I will splash some water right now when it's very wet. And it looks like this. Something happened, but not very obvious lighter drop. So, yeah, and you can also use the golden green for splashing not water but the paint itself. So on the right side I am using it right away, and on the left side I will do the same within a minute or two to see the difference. So that's also very, very useful thing, just splashing the lighter paint on top. And mixing the lighter paint with Naples yellow, for example, would be even more helpful. Like the previous shade of green will run away from the new color.
Say that again. So if you add Naples yellow
To the light green, it will be even easier to create this type of textures.
You put
Yeah.
a wash of green and then splash it with the
With
Naples
more
yellow.
opaque paint,
colours,
right?
right.
So if you have
Rather than
gouaches at
yeah.
home, you can even use a bit of gouache for this.
Yes.
But if we are talking about gouaches, then it can be even done in the end when everything is dry. You can just spray it with water, splash some gouaches, right, and pretend you have more textures on your painting. Okay, it's more dry right now, so the water should behave differently on the left side, like creating the darker edge around each droplet, right? The right part was very, very freshly applied the Hooker's green in the background, and here it already started to dry. That's why the water behaves differently. But still, it's quite nice for the textures of trees.
See, mine's not behaving like that, so I'm wondering what I've done wrong. So
Maybe too much paint
water.
on the too much water too early, or the green was already drying.
Okay.
Who knows?
You know the dark green that goes down first?
It's slightly different.
So the first one has to be what kind of consistency? Like milk? Is it?
Yeah, again milk.
Milk.
Mhm.
And then the light green.
The light green.
What consistency is that? Is that wetter?
Wetter,
Must be
yeah.
wetter.
So the previous green will
So it's
run
cool.
away from the
Okay.
wetness.
Okay.
Where's mine?
So you can do sort of basically just clear water to do the droplets.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you can use the droplets with
Yeah.
a different colour as well.
Yeah, and
Right,
it's
okay.
exciting
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me
yeah,
to
yeah,
splash
yeah.
the paint every now and then.
It's a really good idea. I've never done that before. I've only ever added water. I've
Mm-hmm.
never thought of adding like coloured water.
Mm.
So that's a good idea.
So it's sort of like, it's like sort of wet in wet where you're dropping it in.
Exactly.
Rather than doing wet in wet where the brush is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And the more force you use it to splash the droplets, it's even more visible on the painting sometimes when you use more force to do it.
Like you say, if you use Naples yellow into your green, you get a
Yeah,
another
it's
effect.
even more visible. Let's try.
Okay, I've never used Naples yellow. Is that kind of quite opaque?
Some artists don't use it because the addition of white, and
Yeah.
there are watercolor
that's it.
purists around us.
Oh yeah, I know a few of those.
I use white, by the way.
And then- Oh, that works better. Yeah, I got my consistency.
Mine was too dry, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So that's better. Too dark.
I don't know if mine worked. I'll try again.
It gives the effect of lighting, really, doesn't it? It can do, yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite clever.
So look at yours. Rob.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I've found when it comes to sort of like painting trees, it tends to be a bit bland, which isn't what you want. You want texture.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas this is going to enable you to create all sorts of
It
different
still
variations.
requires some experiment on
Oh,
your
yeah,
side,
yeah.
right? But
Yeah, yeah,
I am
yeah.
showing you everything, so just
Yeah. No,
combine
that's
all
brilliant.
of
Yeah,
those
That's fantastic, yeah.
techniques and you
Yeah.
should be fine. Yeah.
I find salt very difficult. It's quite
Yeah.
hit and miss, isn't it, with salt sometimes, I think.
For me too. It works during workshops, like it's showing
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
But at home, not often.
hit and miss, yeah. These paints are lovely. Really lovely.
It's just that they dry very nicely and vibrantly. It's not, you don't end up with something that's totally
Yeah.
different. So.
And these are Polish ones.
Polish ones, and they are really premium quality pigments, so they shouldn't fade within
You know the-
like
you know the-
100,
you know the
100
Polish-
at least 100 years.
You know there's Polish shops in Kidderminster, isn't there?
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm just, yeah.
Yes, there is actually. They do nice cakes.
Well, it will be easier for the brand to contact a Polish owner somewhere in the UK.
I'm just wondering, because I've got a friend of mine who's got some Ukrainian friends staying with him, and they regularly go to the Polish shop for various
Well,
stuff.
they're looking for a UK distributor, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. Well,
I just
I'll bounce the idea off him and see what he's got to say with his Ukrainian friends, yeah, and see what they can find out.
Unless any one of you would like to become a distributor in the UK. Really? I can contact you with Renaissance and they will be more than happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
do you like mine?
Even if it's just online selling.
Yeah, yeah. Very
Okay, and the last one, probably the most exciting one and the easiest. But I don't have as many sponges and the shaving brush, so you can borrow mine. This first thing is the shaving brush. The older and the more uneven it is, the better. You can also use the brushes for painting the walls. Also make it a little haircut, so it's not too soft and not too even. And this one is from a Chinese market. We have such things in Poland, so yeah, it should be wet first. This is another cool thing, a sponge to remove the excess water first. And again, it's slightly easier for me to apply it from the dried paint because the amount of pigment is just right. This way. Like it's kill it first. And you do something like this, right? So it's so fast. And sometimes it's already looking nice. Sometimes you need to make it wet on the edges or something like this. Right? So fast and so easy. And again, adding some little branches in between would be so nice. But this technique with making stumps usually makes it faster for the middle part of the tree, and the edge you still need to learn how to do the little leaves. This just make it easier for
do
the
that with the brush. You
Yeah.
can probably dip it into multiple colours. So
oh yeah.
yes.
Just this one mistake that I see when people do it too soon.
Yeah.
You should wait for it to dry and
Yes.
only then reapply the
Yeah.
paint. And
Yeah.
what kids usually do during workshops is like adding it right away and doing something like this. Well, this looked nice, but that was an accident actually. Oh, and also it's even possible to do grass and branches, right? It's almost
Sold it.
almost too easy. And it costed like nothing. So if you have I don't know, something similar at home, and moving the paper around
Yeah.
to make the paint flow as well.
Yes.
Good, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
It's
fantastic.
nice old fashioned one.
Fantastic.
So you can use it in turns. It already has green on, and this is the natural ocean sponge, or however it's called.
So you want to really untie
Just a
it.
natural sponge, and the regular sponge to washing yourself. Yeah, I just made it more uneven with my hands. And yeah, this one needs to be softened.
Now, is
Like
that should we say a non
synthetic sponge
synthetic
and natural
yeah,
sponge.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I even find it easier with the synthetic one. It was just
Can you still get the the natural sponges?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is there
we will try with the
environmental
natural
restriction
first.
on them at all?
Yes.
just it's hard with the sponge to
Okay.
apply the right amount of pigment.
I did pick a
So
bag of them up in Cyprus once, which I've not used yet, but yeah,
They're useful.
yeah.
so when you will be trying the sponges, just use my paints. It will be harder to get the right amount of pigments using the paint from the tube, and it looks slightly similar to the shaving brush. It depends on the shape of the sponge itself. Again, don't do it like this because you just get a blob of paint. You need to use only the irregular part. But again, spraying some water to make the little shapes connect would be nice. And this one, not too wet. Because we will achieve something like this if it's too wet. And I just rub my paints with it. In case it's too dry now. Yeah, too dry. Something like this. So different textures with all of those tools, but all of them are quite fast to make. Okay, and it's wet enough right now, so it will be easier for you to use it.
I think the important thing I'm learning from this is how important the white of the paint
Oh, yeah.
is coming through. We often overlook the white. But on all the examples you've done, especially compared to mine, you've got so much white coming through.
Yeah, it would be too unnatural looking if there were no white spots.
That's lovely.
Okay, so maybe I will just stop recording and you will have fun with the sponges, right? I don't have much room, but maybe. So again, I sort of kill it on the palette like this. Make it as uneven as possible, and again make some little stamps, but having slightly more control over it because it's smaller. But yeah, the texture will be similar. Every now and then kill it again on the palette.
That's this brush here, is it? That we've
This
all
is
got?
the one,
We've all got that.
and it's also
Oh,
possible with this one.
That's the one we're going to use for stamping down.
Is this one here?
Yeah, the green one,
Ah, lovely, thank you.
and the brown one will be good for the job as well.
And you get to take one of these home with you,
Yeah, and the one for lifting color.
and you get one of these.
Just the unused ones. The one ones you have on the table are for workshops, so they might be slightly destroyed by the students, and these aren't used. So again, applying some paint, killing my brush, and this is the only white area I have right now. Very similar texture again, and just keep destroying it slightly to create the texture. Yeah, so we don't need the sponge or the shaving brush, but it's useful for the bigger areas.
Did you use that one as well? Sorry.
Yeah,
Where did
this
they
was
come?
here.
That one, okay. Does anybody need any more paint, or is everybody all right for paint?
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
So it's kind of stippling.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ooh.
Do you want a sponge?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Thank you. And there's yours on too, if you want. So those two, thank you.
Thank you.
Try it again. Thank you.
take a look. Hope you are not stressing when I'm looking.
No?
Why?
Some people don't like to be watched.
This was
Too much.
Yeah, slightly too much paint. So
And not enough water, maybe.
yeah, you can take bigger container.
Okay. Okay.
And to make it less green in the future, right?
Okay.
And for this one, you can maybe fit another one in
Can I have the sponge again?
with slightly less paint because
Yes.
it's hard to get the right amount when it's freshly squeezed from the tube, right? That's why I
Yes.
prefer
The
colors.
others are yours, because this is mine.
The others are slightly less salt.
I just happened to have
And
some
the
students.
little dots will
No,
be more
what I'm saying, are
obvious.
there still some of your samples that you smile?
Maybe it's again was too dry when
I think I put a
you
sword
the
dagger in a
then-
sword.
Okay.
Did you try the sword?
Yeah, it's
No,
soft.
I haven't.
It's
But you want the sword?
Yes, try it, very
Yeah,
soft.
yeah.
Okay, thanks. Well, wait a minute.
Now this might seem silly,
Yeah,
but
everything is fine.
I went it.
That's what I do.
I
I do
went
taste
to
it. I
the
do
chemist,
that.
because you know you ladies
Because
can
when I
buy
do my
brushes
animals,
for,
I like them to move.
I actually
And when
bought
I
a set.
move, they move.
And
They
it's
have
got
to move the paint.
multiple
Yeah.
different
Lovely.
brushes in there,
So
including
that's the kind of.
the big one, like that, that obviously, and I've used it.
So maybe just the line of the grass. Nothing very specific, and for the tree they are so light in the background I wouldn't sketch them. And for the foreground trees you can sketch them, just very softly. So I always start with the line in the middle and maybe some additional little lines on the edge, but not too much, just to know the shape of the tree better. But not gonna lie, I usually sketch more during workshops than at home. At home there will be only this line of grass. Oh, and if it's too hard, the line on top of the tree, then you should use the eraser. Kneadable eraser? How do you call it in English? Putty. No. Okay, so you just roll it, and wherever the sketch is too harsh, remove the excess pencil.
You take off the surface of the paper.
You've got that as a separate piece, did you?
Yes, this is I have.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
It's almost too small for me. I like the huge sheets of paper. It's hard to fit everything. Yeah, and I'm afraid to sketch anything here around the sun. So that might be it, but still it will be slightly easier to paint in the right place. Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I've put any of those out, to be honest. Does everybody need I've got more reasons.
What? You should have clean water. Some water in the bottle with the atomizer. And this one should be clean. And the toothbrush as well. For the background, we usually start with the background, doing landscapes. And yeah, once we are done with the background trees that are warm, let me know if you need a little break to like eat or drink something, because all of the trees that's happening in the foreground should be done at once, or so it we won't be able to do a break then. But we have quite nice time, nicer than I thought. Maybe this make it easier that you are painting along with me. In Poland, they need to gather around me. I show what they need to do next, and they sit and paint. So it takes longer. We will see how fast you are going to paint this one. But we can always start the shafts of light from tomorrow. Or finish slightly earlier than intended. And you have Naples yellow, right? Naples yellow. Naples yellow reddish is there as well.
Yeah.
Reddish, and okay.
I'll leave them there in case people want to take the photos.
So will this be our finished piece, or is this just a practice for the background?
No, this will be the landscape.
This will be the landscape.
Yeah, we'll do it in
Oh, so we're going to build it up.
steps.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to do it properly. Okay.
I
I think
wonder.
they're going to do it's four, I think it's 4 pieces people do in all.
Yeah. We might be squeezing some even darker paints, but later on, when doing the trees. So.
So, and then,
Yeah, this lady here sort of started doing this all for
cut up some pieces of this.
Sarah.
Yes, yes.
Sarah, that's it. Yeah.
How do you pronounce? Is it Sarah?
So French we say Sarah.
Did I put an H?
Oh my.
I have an H.
Oh, you have got an H. Oh, I see. Sorry.
No problem. You can give it both ways.
Okay. So not on the sheet yet, but I will just tell you what colors. I am recording. No, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
That won't be very complicated. As you can see in the middle part around the sun, it's a very, very light yellow, and the transparent yellow that you have on your palette is quite intense in the pure form. It's like this, so it's too much. And we can either make it more light or add some little bit of Naples yellow. But I have different shade of Naples yellow. I have Naples yellow light, so I will add the same one you have, just to make it more less vibrant. Oh, that's the words. So this would go in the middle part of the painting, but very, very soft version of this shade. And then you will mix the Naples yellow. Again, I've forgotten what I got. Yeah, you have Naples yellow reddish as well. And this could go in the corners. So it's more like this. Yeah, it's very similar to the shade in the corner of our photo. And we can also combine it with the quinacridone red, which is really beautiful, transparent shade of like pink, but also in the pure form it's very, very vibrant. So we have to be very careful connecting those. And the Naples yellow deep also can go into the mix. And I'm going to splash the paint in the corners with the toothbrush. So just double check it's not green from the first exercise. So first the yellow, then we will do the corners of the work and create a nice gradient. And then I will wait for you for a couple of minutes and only then move on to the background trees. And we will see if that will be the time for the food to arrive, maybe, who knows. because it will be nice to do a little break between the background trees and the foreground trees.
Okay, can you write next to it with a pencil?
Yeah, what it was.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Some of these are far more opaque, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the Naples colours.
And take a look at the combination of transparent yellow, transparent gold ochre. It also imitates very well the quinacridone gold. I very like the combination of those two.
Yeah.
So we will definitely use it somewhere in the trees, near the sun as well. And it combines so well with the golden green, right? So you know what will happen when we will start painting trees, and then we will move on to the different shapes of green as we go. So sap green mixed with hooker's green probably.
What's this green you've got on here? Is it sap? Is it? It's, oxide. We've
Oh,
got oxide
it's
green.
also a very useful
Yeah.
shade, but right, we will need a nice transition between the warm colors and the greens, and at some point I'm going to add the mineral violet. So it's even more mixed with hooker's green, right, or sap green. It doesn't matter as much. It's still nice. With sap green is more like warm, and with hooker's green it gets darker. So maybe first with sap green, mineral violet and sap green. I will just write it down and take a photo. Sarah will send it to you later on.
The WhatsApp group, aren't we?
Oh, we can put on the WhatsApp group and do it right away, but I will need your phones to do it.
That's fine. We'll send over lunchtime. We'll get everybody's number.
Yeah.
Join the WhatsApp group if you want to, and then we'll add it on to it.
Also, let me know what's your name on Instagram, so if I share something, I will tag you, and you can reshare it with your audience. Okay, so it's probably even dark enough to finish with, but we will see. If it dries and it's too light, then maybe even the mineral violet and any kind of the mineral violet is very, very bright, so again we either need to be very careful with it or mix it with something. And for the deepest shadows, we might, for example, mix it with the Mars Black, which is actually a very dark brown for me.
We don't have that colour, do we?
Yeah, we will squeeze it later. So this might appear somewhere in the shadowed areas. You also have the indigo shades. Who knows? Maybe not in this landscape, but I might change my mind later on. And the Payne's Grey. It's also there. So sometimes I mix the mineral violet, any brown, and the Payne's Grey to create some muddy shade for the shadows. But the most important will be the bright ones, right? What we add in the shadows isn't as important. Okay, let's just write that down. So this was transparent yellow, and mix in the middle.
That yellow's, that transparent yellow is so funny because it looks really dull, doesn't it? Until you put the water on it.
And then
Yeah,
some
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Just for these cameras, aren't they? Oh, brilliant.
It's interesting.
Oh, and the oxide green or chromium oxide green, how was it? Is mostly for splashing the paint because it's opaque. You can mix it with a little bit of Naples yellow, for example, to make it even more visible when splashed on the back, on the darker shades of green. So I mix the Hooker's green, Naples yellow, and sometimes the golden green, and then the dots on the darker parts of the trees will be visible. I'm not sure. Yeah, you should see it live because the screen slightly lies. But yeah, we will do something like this in the shadows for definitely. And in the light parts of the trees, we'll still have the option to splash some darker greens as well. So it's all nicely connected. And if you feel like using salt, you can also do it at some places. Maybe not too much. We should probably decide if we are using salt in the trees or in the grass, because it might feel like too much if it's everywhere. But yeah, this would be enough probably.
Opaque Naples yellow is really interesting because it's that opaque. You can splash over. both
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah,
can't you?
okay.
Thank you.
So you can get light on top of dark, which is quite unusual for well, it's almost like a gouache, isn't it?
Just at the right moment.
Yeah.
The purple must be at least a bit wet.
Mm.
Okay.
Don't forget, guys, this is cheap paper, so it's going to be different again when you come to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got loads of this stuff. In fact, I'll bring a few sheets through because I think it's going to be really useful for people.
I guess that's what it was. So yeah, that's the plan for today. And I already have dirty water.
This out here, and I'll leave some scissors here, and then you can just help yourself.
Yeah,
Just
okay, thank you.
I think
Yeah, I think we're going to need to do a bit of experiment.
I think
isn't
so.
it?
I think that especially if these are new colours that you've not used before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not used to stuff with such opacity, such thickness. It's exciting.
It's recording. Just making sure it's evenly wet, not too wet. or to dry in some areas. Yeah, looking from an angle is useful. And that's mostly the purpose of this brush, wetting the paper. Sometimes for the backgrounds on the bigger paintings. Okay, not sure if my goat brush is clean enough. Yeah, it's okay. So the first combination was Naples yellow and transparent yellow, but mostly transparent yellow, right? Do you want me to show it like this and only then paint? Yeah. So I'm mixing a pool of paint and apply it somewhere in the middle. Don't worry about the trees. And it should happen quite fast because we want to tilt the paper in different directions. Maybe I should just paint it all over the sky. And then start applying the Naples yellow reddish with a very little bit of quinacridone red for the corners. You see the movement of the brush. It's important for the new shade to blend nicely with the yellow one. So something like this to start with, and it will be perfect if you still have time to move the paper slightly from one side to the other. I have a brush hair on, as always. And if too much paint covers on the edge, you should remove it as you tilt the paper. So something like this with the smooth transition. If it's not smooth enough, you can try to blend it even more. And if it doesn't want to flow, you might need to spray it with water and try moving your paper again. Now, on the photo it's even more red in the corners, but especially on the bigger sheets of paper you might be afraid to do it with a brush, and then we can try making the gradient with a toothbrush. So a bit more quinacridone red covering the sun area and making the nice transition from corner to the middle. And you can see sometimes I when I want one more time, when I want more color, I use it like this. When I want the color to blend, I tilt it, right, so it's the little droplets get farther away.
Sorry, I'll switch the notifications off at lunchtime so it doesn't keep.
Oh, so this is the first stage.
Brilliant.
Okay. Quite easy. No?
It's always not so easy.
Yeah. So I will just make a pool of white paint first. So I really like this green brush for the parts that don't need to have as much pigment. So that's why this was first. The softer ones usually are better for the background, for the sky, at least at the first 2 layers, and then sometimes I switch to more, I don't know the name, springy brush. Synthetic with the that's coming back to its original shape, and the natural ones, once you bend it, it just stays like it, right? Yeah, but still very useful. And I have different sizes of the same brush because I sometimes use one to apply color and the other to blend the edges, and I will just show you in a minute. So maybe one of them will be clean and the other not so clean. Okay. So for the shade, I will just mix it here since it's very similar. Start with the transparent yellow and transparent gold ochre. Still don't know if I say it correctly. If it mixes with a bit of pink, don't worry. You can even do it on purpose. By the way, nice orange can be created with the transparent yellow and the quinacridone red. And it's still quite natural looking. So that's it. But if you want to use a pure version of any of those colors anywhere in the background, that's okay. Just start with the more water at first. Oh, and mine is already dry because I waited for you, so I'm wetting it with the spray bottle, not with the brush, because it's not Sanders Waterford or hot press paper. So if I will try to just wet it with a brush, I will destroy the first layer, right? You need to remember that if you work on a paper that's more forgiving and allowing correcting mistakes endlessly, you should just make it wet with the spray bottle. Oh, and now we take a look where to put the lightest ones, and I guess not enough red in mine. That's the part visible between the trees, right? First. And I apply it quite fast to have more time to blend the shades and to create the edges of the trees. More water, just not too much. And remember when we did the stamp thing, you can use this effect for the edge of those trees, like make it messy and use those little hair to create the textures on top. It doesn't have to look the same as on the photo, just similar.
And do you add a bit more water when you're trying to do the outer edge? Perhaps?
Yeah, it could have some droplets of water,
Yeah.
so you have more time to blend it if you want. But mostly, to have more time, you can use the green brush, make it wet, but then remove the excess water. I use the sponge, but you can also remove the excess water on the paper towel. Hold it like this, and just like swipe it, so you can come back to the those trees and don't worry about too hard edge right now. Yeah, so soften on the bottom, and then you have time to work on the upper edge, right? To get it just right. And on the right and left edge, you can gradually switch to more intense shades, like more red mixed with the ochre, for example, like this. Any Naples yellow as well, if you want. So for now, it looks like peachy shade, like peach, I guess. And the first part was still wet, that's why it connects on its own. If you are worried that you will apply the second color too late, then just use the spray often. to have more time. And then when we paint the trees, we can do the tree trunk first, and only then try to achieve the right shape. I just hold my little finger like on the paper and do the zigzag thing. Try it. You can also again hold the dirty brush like the one I was swiping the color with, and make it softer because the background.
Why didn't you? Have you flipped to a different brush now? Which brush
No, it's the same one but slightly smaller, but it does the same thing. This is just clean, and the smaller one is with paint. Oh, and when the paint gathers in a pool, it's probably going to dry not very nicely with the hard edge and stuff. So we just need to very gently tap it with a paper towel. So it's nice and soft. And if the droplets of paint gathers on the edge of each branch, then that's exactly what you should do as well. Tap it with the paper towel. But if possible, try to do it quick enough when the paper is still slightly wet, and it just happens on its own then. Like, we want the transition between the shades. It doesn't matter that much what shades you are going to mix. You just don't want the harsh lines between all of the colors. Try to make it wet first to have more time to switch between the colors, right? And if you're comfortable using toothbrush, you can again make the background trees darker on the bottom. Quinacridone red and the ochre. Holding my hand above the lighter parts again and creating the even more dramatic transition. This is too hard on the right side. Right? Yeah, and if you want, you can even add more purple, but it's not necessary to do this at this stage. We can just add it later, and now focus more on the shapes of the trees themselves. I still don't have the little branches near the tree in the middle, so that's what I need to add right now. Oh, I will show you another thing because this is dry already. If you are adding the shape of the tree, I know there's no such tree on the photo. I just want to show you the technique. Again, I am doing the vertical line first, then the zigzag thing. And if the tree is very close to the sun, I will just spray it gently with water and use this brush like a swipe to make the edges close to the sun blend slightly more. So it's not that important to do everything in one go. You can like apply the treetops later, just make sure it's blended nicely. And again, if the brushes will be dry already, I would have to swipe the bottom of this freshly added treetop to make it connect. I mean something like this, right?
When you swipe with this brush, is it dry?
Is it was wet, then
Yes.
I removed the excess wet. It's just very slightly wet. And so I can hold it like this.
Okay.
It can be too damp or too wet. You again have to experiment, but it's very useful.
So So you're just squeezing the
Yeah.
bristles to create the shape.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
And there is a brush that has this shape from the start. What's the name of it? Yeah, but it will create the little lines, right? So it won't blend the colors for you. And that's why I make my hands dirty holding the bristles instead. Okay, so that's the thing we want to achieve now. And it's safer to add the purples and darker greens later, so maybe I will just let you paint, right? And then show you how to connect the darks on your painting with the light part, right? It would be more educational, I guess. Okay, so this line is quite hard, and we have the sun over
No,
here.
sorry, what I meant is should
Yeah.
cover the white of the paper myself.
Don't worry about the sun. If you covered it too much, you can lift it
Yeah, exactly.
with this.
So I'm gonna do that before I
So
do
it
the
should be
background.
wet.
Yeah.
And you just scratch it and use the clean, not as dirty as mine, paper towel to remove it. But yeah, if any line
Yeah.
is too hard, you can
Yeah, thanks.
soften it with the grey brush.
Can you just remind me of the first colours that you started with? If that's okay.
Transparent yellow
Yeah.
with gold ochre.
Uh-huh.
And maybe a little bit of Naples yellow, but not too much. Naples yellow reddish. One more thing. Once it's done, but not dry completely, you can splash some Naples yellow reddish if you want. Oh, my brush was green. I mean, for the little droplets of paint on the trees. Naples yellow reddish or regular Naples yellow, or mix in some transparent yellow if you want, and just add some texture even on this stage if you want. Not necessary, but possible to do.
So yellow and gold.
Yeah. And you see how much water it was. I was using at the beginning, right? Not too much paint. The more pigment on the edges.
So usually you paint this layer just after this one
Yeah.
sweats for it to dry.
Right after. A few minutes after the background will be ready. Again, my almost dried, and since there was nothing done in the bottom part, I can just re-wet it with the white brush. And for the rest, I will use some water just to make the blend easier. You should probably take a look how it looks from the side, right? Because you only see the how it looks from the top. Yeah. If you want, then go ahead and take a look how wet it actually is. It's only visible from the side.
Very
Okay. Okay, and then maybe this again. It doesn't matter if it's yellow from the background painting, and just use the green we were playing with in the first exercise, so the golden green, and just like, don't worry at this stage. Then some sap green goes into it. just every now and then take a look at the photo.
I think we've only got the one green. You or you
And the
got
first-
No,
from
the
earlier on.
first three.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
I've used one. I'll get some more.
So, and on the photo we don't see the very defined edge between the grass and the trees, right? So you can just try to blend it right away, a little bit, not too much. Maybe spray more water. And it's too late to add the, too early to add the little, what's the name for the
Tussocks, tufts.
tufts?
Well, yeah, yeah, tussocks,
Okay.
that type of thing, yeah.
The little thingies.
Yeah,
It's too early for them. They will just spread too much at this stage. So just the green and maybe the hooker's green as well, if you want. Just try not to use too much paint or it would be hard to achieve the lightness in this watercolor. And as for the light that goes here and here, it also might be too early for removing some of the greens. No, it's okay. So you can remove some of the green with the paper towel and then use, for example, the green brush with the yellow mixed with Naples yellow. You should already have it somewhere on your palette to like push the green outside. What also could be done is like just moving the side of the brush at this the area you want to achieve more light and removing the excess paint on the paper towel. So we achieved a soft edge, not too much. It's not yellow enough, but don't worry. You can also remove some of the green and only once it's dry splash some yellow on top of it and it will be convincing enough. Oh, and salt. If you want, you can sprinkle some salt when you are done with the greens. And do it first on the bottom line, so the little dots it creates will be bigger here than closer to the tree if you want, but you don't have to use the salt. Just so we can use all of the techniques that I show you.
That looks beautiful already.
Thank you. And I said I was going to blend the grass with the trees, like for the nice transition, and the colors are much deeper here. So, what I would normally do is spray it again because it already started to dry, and yeah, with a brush probably. Mine is too green for that, so I will use different one. The same shade I was using for the toothbrush in the previous layer, just more intense, right? The more synthetic brush, the more pigment you are going to apply. With the green one will be harder to achieve this much intensity, but again, the green one will be used to blend it, right? So just, while it's still fresh, smudge it, right? And then move on to the, maybe a bit of purple. It will become brownish when mixed with the reds. And again, blend, blend, blend. And if you are comfortable with using a toothbrush, it's okay to add, for example, some mineral violet and greens, or even pure version of this, just cover the sunny part with your hands. Not too much. It's better to add it later than to overuse the violet. But maybe some of it on the left edge of our grass will be useful for the catching more attention with the middle part, right? And the paint is gathering on the edge. You know, you should remove it gently with the paper towel, or the blooms might appear. So that's the same thing should be done on the right side. More shadows on the bottom of the grass, if you like. It will be also looking good. Just a different angle of the brush is necessary here. And if you want to use salt, it's also the right moment. Who knows, maybe it will work this time. So more on the foreground, I guess. And the same thing on the right part. So it was quinacridone red, I guess, with the ochre first. No, it's too hard right now, so to blend it, you can spray it and brush it. Very, very useful thing to do, right?
That's a real revelation, but
Yes, that's
it's like totally.
like the brushing out.
Yeah. I had no idea about that. But
No, there is no.
And it's, for me, it's easier on bigger sheets of paper, right? To achieve the little branches, and like you have more room for everything. So when you're ready, try to paint on some bigger paper than A3 even. Or maybe you already tried. Oh, and since you have already the purple shade on your brush, you can mix the purple with any green you are having on the palette. Oh, the salt is starting to work, but as we wait, we can now add some of the lines that you can see on the photo on the grass, the shadows. Just again, don't do too much of them. Or splash some purple just for fun. The smaller of those green brushes might be a better choice. This one is quite big, so I have to again hold it carefully. Yeah, and when it will be slightly more dry, the new paint will stay where I put it. Right now it's slightly too wet, so we should wait a few more minutes. But yeah, oh, the salt is looking like flowers on mine. Yeah, and I said we can add more yellow even afterwards, so let me just show you again how to lift some of the greens. This one was still clean. I'm scratching it with the side of the brush. We just can't leave it like this, or it will get the darker edges. We just need to smooth this out with cleaner a paper towel than mine. Right? For the light part. And any other light area in the grass should be done the same way. And once it's dry, we will re-wet it again and just add the yellow from the toothbrush on top of it. So, like, there's so many methods for everything. You shouldn't be stressed too much.
It really lifts off
Yeah.
very well, doesn't it, off that white
Got some
gold.
depth to it, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous.
So the greens go with the white brush, and don't worry at all because all of the textures on the grass will be salt and lifting and the dark. What's the name again for the for this thing?
Oh,
Sussex.
Sussex, yeah.
Tussock?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bumps of
Oh, yeah. Bumps of grass.
Lumps.
Lumps. That's a new word for me.
Look at all those flowers.
Let's see if it's too early to sprinkle the yellow. It might be, but just so you see all of it at once. Wow, making a mess. Just remember, it can be too much paint, too little paint, too much water. If you already see it's too much water, it's better to remove some on the paper towel and only then make the magic happen. Right? It's way more sunny right now, and some of the orange from the palette you probably have could go around this sunny part, and it will again connect everything. Okay, now it's your turn.
It's gorgeous.
Thanks. Okay, it's recording, and let's remember when we did the transition of the gold, green, and the darker shades, right? So you need to create the pools of color, so you have them ready before starting to paint the trees. Just because it needs to happen quite fast, you know, so the transition between the warm tones and the greens will be nice and smooth. Let's mix some yellow then. This one will be for the shadows. It's too dirty. I thought today it was going to rain, but it's looking fine. So mostly transparent yellow and the golden ochre, and whatever you already had on your palette probably as well. Something like this. And the darks. Hooker's green for starter, and then I'm going to add some mineral violet to it, but maybe not right now. I will have too dirty water. Oh, have some drops of paint. Okay, hope you are not too stressed about this. Again, mine is dry, but I still like to add some water. Just not too much, only in the sunny part of the trees. So some of the edges will be not that hard, but again, a clean piece of paper towel in another hand will be useful, and the other brush for softening, you know what's going to happen with some of the branches. So it's wet. I removed the excess water, and I'm again going to hold it like this, but not right now. Okay. Let's go with the warm tones. Oh, and this is imitation of squirrel, and this one as well. So you should just use those black brushes maybe for now, or continue using whatever you like.
So why do you use this one?
It's longer, and I like the tip. It's actually quite similar. I can use both of them. So maybe on the black one I will have some pure yellow first. Around the sun, we will use the pure yellow and then move on to the combination of those two warm shades. So, sun. But we need to do this quite fast so we have time to blend the edges. See the finger, right? And I'm using just the tip of the brush. And use the other one to do something like this in some parts. And let the color blend nicely. It seems like too much, but it will dry lighter, and you can also remove some of it by gently tapping it with paper towel. And you know, tilt the paper for the transition of colors and use another one. Mine is dirty, but I have a similar one from different brands to blend the edge of the sun area. So it's wet, but not too wet. For the circle. Also, so we can continue working on the right side of the tree. I would recommend blending it right now, so we can work on the top and the left side of the tree and then come back to the right side. Okay, which one was yellow? This one. Yellow with the ochre. Again, before the first part around the sun will dry completely, it's quite important to have a lot of paint on your brush and the mix of paints on the palette, so we can focus on achieving the right shape, not mixing all the time. If you would like more orange, then mix some yellow with the quinacridone red. And I'm not going to lie, I experiment a lot. It's not like there's only one way to do it. You see? The transition between colors should be as smooth as you can achieve, and if you feel like it's necessary, blend some edges, or you can also tap the tip of this branch with the paper towel, or smooth it out any other way you can think of. Yeah, and to make it slightly easier for you, we can focus on the warm shades for now, and then leave it and continue painting the green part. But it's easier for some people and more difficult for the others. If we are going to continue later, you would need to make the right side wet, so we can come back to this part later. But if we would like to paint it right away, it should gradually become more green. Since you are doing this the first time, maybe focusing on the yellows, oranges and reds for now would be better. Just don't leave this line too hard. This was green, so no. So we can come back later. Leave it like this, as smooth as possible, and continue on the tip of the second tree. Mine was supposed to be somewhere here. And again, very gently tap it with the paper towel so it disappears on top. And maybe this will be easier to start with, actually. Sorry. The shape is more basic. Some more quinacridone reds. So do this one first, and only then the other one. And the ochre, but not so much water in it. And again, blend it so we can continue later. But if we were going to do it right now, we could either use some green in the trees, or just go ahead and move straight to the purples. I think I see purple over there, but that's a risky thing to do. Let's see how it looks. And what browns did I get? Okay. So, just to make sure it looks fine. No, not this one. I will need to check which brown is which, because I'm not sure if I'm having the same one you have. So this, for now, just remember to make the little the edges disappear, right? But also before the reddish part will dry, you can apply some more yellow and just add a few more tips to the tree that's even lighter. So as soft as possible, close to the sun, and try to use yellow first when you will be starting to work on the right tree. And as you can see, even though I tried to leave the sun untouched, it has the harsh line around it. So this is where the lifting brush can make it work, and it's that easy, right? So don't stress out if you lose some of the whites between the branches. You can just recreate them, but it's easier on bigger sheets of paper again, because it's not that small. But we can and should blend some of the edges later on, like this. So leave as many whites as you could, as you can at this stage, but don't worry, there are different methods to do this. Okay. Let me just
Yeah.
Interesting shape.
Okay. So, I told you to squeeze some sepia, but apparently the brown shade closer to the one on the photo could be just created with the transparent gold ochre and the mineral violet. So try first. It's like more warm. But before I will apply it here, we should take a look at our picture and decide if it's safe to start adding more paint. And I think I need to blend some of the, smoothen out some of the edges on the right to create something similar like here, and only then continue adding details. So I just scratch it for a couple of seconds so it doesn't have too hard edges. Okay. As before, it's safer to spray it slightly with water, and then maybe I'm looking for a clean brush to apply some red first. So quinacridone red with yellow, you probably already have some of it on your palettes, and before adding the brown, you should still add a little bit of lighter shade first, just in case the brown will be too much. Then the brown mixed ochre mixed with mineral violet. It looks like this. And this is the part when you can use the something to tilt the surface, so the brown won't flow to the sun on your painting. And even more purple in the mix as you go below. And that's actually my thing, to hold like a couple of different brushes with different shade on each of them, because we like add the browns and the browns with the purple, but at the same time the edges should be yellow again. So if you have a clean brush, then before the browns will dry, you should add some little yellowish thingies. You know what I mean, right? And if you feel like it's not as smooth as you would like it to be on this stage, you can, but it's risky. Sometimes I splash some red in between those colors, but it's such a small space over here, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Still, in the same way we were blending some of the edges, we can have the orange shade on the green brush that's imitation of squirrel. And just instead of blending edges, you apply the red shade in between the two colors, right? Wow! I'm throwing everything. But it would be best if we apply enough red in the first place, so we didn't need to reapply it. But you know how it works with watercolor, you never know how it will dry. This is yellow, this is the dark one. Okay, and now as we go more far away from the sun, it's safe to use the dry brush technique sometimes if you like, and like just stress a little bit less. And don't worry about the little dots of light in the tree. Of course you can try to not paint over them, but we can lift some of the brown paint later. And now only focus on the shape of the tree. If you like, that's also the right moment to mix purple with the Hooker's green, for example, and create the deepest shadows below. But that's a risky thing to do, so be prepared to blend some of it. for example, like this. And the same shade goes to the little tufts of grass, right? Am I using the right word right now? Or
Tussocks or tufts, really.
tufts, okay.
Tufts of grass or tussocks, they can call them sometimes.
So yeah, make sure the tree blends in with the grass. So if that's already quite a lot of information right now, I can just blend the edge here so I can work on it later. And for this step, just focus on the right tree and the branches that should go on the right side. Which one was the purple brown? This one. Right now I am creating the little dots of brown in the middle part of the tree as well, so it connects better. And again, try to blend it. It's so small. Yeah, so the challenge will be the transitions between colors, I guess, and still keeping the realistic shape of the tree, you know. But as you move below, just add some texture to the grass as well. And the green brush is also great for painting the grass. So you can just have the paint applied on the tips and create some nice grass textures with one movement like this. Or the other way, you apply some little shadow on the grass and only then move on to the green brush. Hold it like you are going to blend some edges. Whoa, too big this time, but you know what I mean. Just make it more uneven with the same movement you were using for blending.
The problem I've got a little bit is my tree looks nothing like yours and it's a lot blockier.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I might need to do is just do some basic tree things.
Where?
Just paint a tree.
Ah,
Things.
practice.
That's what I'm struggling with. I've got a blocky triangle as opposed to the delicacy of the lightness. So it's moving a little bit fast for me. I think I just really want
That's
to.
why we are going to stop here.
I'm struggling even with the tree.
Maybe I will just tell you what I would do to the flowers
Yes.
because they are too big, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And to
I think the flowers look lovely, to be honest.
yeah, so I'm not going to cover all of them, but maybe make them more yellowish. So
You've got a
there's
real
this.
delicacy about your front tree. That I think was that what you were talking about, Maria, in a way.
Yeah, that's the sort of question I had.
Yeah. Whereas I think we probably need to touch a couple of us and just.
Okay,
work on
then
tree.
we can practice painting tree if we have enough time today, right? Yeah.
I'll go along with that, actually.
It was half hour ahead of you, and my tree looks as if...
I thought I was trying to reverse
Seriously,
engineer what she's doing and then probably getting closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just splashing some yellow on top of those flowers. Oh, you don't see it. Sorry.
Oh, that's pretty.
So they are not so
Oh, I love
cold.
That's lovely.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
That's just the same
the
thing.
ones on the edge could even be more disappearing slowly, less distracting, like this. There were too much of them actually. You never know with the salt. But yeah, in the sunny part I just added some yellow. And this part on my tree is slightly distracting, right? To hard the edges. So
When
what?
it comes to the tree, which was Sarah raised,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching the way you're using your brush, and it's sort of a very delicate.
Oh.
Yeah. Could you perhaps?
On just clean sheet of
Yeah.
paper.
Could you perhaps sort of? Just sort of.
The one tip I
explain that a
have
little bit,
when you
because I think
when
it's quite
you
delicate the way you do it. You see.
it's like the
Yeah.
holding the brush
Yeah.
on the little finger and doing the dance.
Yeah.
But what makes it easier for me is listening to the music and like recreating the music on the paper. It's so the
Dancing.
soundtracks are
Sarah.
really working for
Remember
me.
the first course?
Yesterday,
No. You were talking about closing your eyes and using the pencil. And
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Well,
Remember?
contour drawing. No, we had to.
No. Yeah, well, the one you taught us when we did the beginners course.
So,
Remember that?
I'm
Yeah, drawing contour.
only
Yes, exactly.
blending some of the
Yeah,
browns
same.
over here
Yeah.
because it was too
We
hard.
had Hans Zimmer on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. But, okay.
I found that closer you hold the brush here, the more control you have.
Yeah.
And I'm probably looking at the reference photo
Yeah.
too
Which
much.
won't be problem with the bigger sheet, but on at
As
A4
close you can
it's
go with the brush.
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm probably looking too much at the reference picture.
Maybe
Opposed to just, like you said.
focus on the right shade and the shapes are not as important. Okay. Yeah. So let's spray it with water again. You might not have noticed, but I added some shadows here. It was too light on my painting, and now it's more connected all together. And it was the same color as the bottom part of the tree, but just lighter. And for the left tree, not sure which one was, maybe one of them was already red. No. like before. I make sure it connects well first, and only then move on to the darker browns. For example, like this. And I told you that the little tips of each branch should be warmer, maybe. So you can do it at first on, or add the warm color at the end. Whatever works for you. It might be easier to get purer warm shade if we do it first. But everyone has slightly different techniques, so I can't make any promises actually. So now the golden ochre with the mineral violet. And I just let it flow. And push some of the brown onto the first tree as well, because they should look like they were painted at the same time. So. The same shade but less water, more pigment. And try to connect it with the background trees somehow. For example, just adding any shapes on the left, imitating the shadows with the side of the brush every now and then, or however it works for you. Adding some water. Blending if necessary, but not always. There will be a need to blend, but definitely we should blend the shadows with the grass. The grass had too hard line. So closer to the trees, it was just the same brown shade as were used on the trees, but going to the bottom of the page, it should probably become green. So at some point mix the purple with Hooker's green, for example. Unless you already have all of the grass textures. And in the next step, we'll try to lift some colors to create the light on the grass mostly, and maybe some little spots of light in the trees if you lost them. But that's basically it, and sometimes it's on this stage is ready. Not always, but sometimes. Is this the size of the paper you usually work on, or smaller or bigger, guys?
Like this.
It's so hard for me to fit in.
I usually work on A3 sizes.
Yeah,
Really
A3
small.
or even bigger ones.
Yeah.
Like the most freedom I have on the full sheet of watercolor paper. But you need bigger brushes for that. I am adding some more mineral violet mixed with Hooker's green to the bottom of the trees. That's the same shade I used for the tufts of grass. Am I using the right word? Okay. So it connects better when it's even just a tiny bit of green on the bottom of the trees. And there's some sort of the little trees on the left, so again you can use the technique with making the brush uneven, murdering it on the palette and adding the bush or something over here. Yeah, it's almost ready on, at least it looks so on the phone. But yeah, I will also show you later. You can spray it with more water. And I would probably recommend using the toothbrush. And actually, any green, whatever you have. And just spray some of it on top. So if we are only talking about the bottom part of the grass, then maybe more green with purple. would be good. But for the part near the trees, just let it be quite dark since it's the sunset.
And if you do this, it will get like that, honestly.
This. Sorry. So something like this on the grass, and then again spraying it with water and adding the warm shades either with the toothbrush or one of the softer brushes. Where is it?
Does anybody need clean water?
I think it shows.
Yes. I can see, yeah.
And I'm going to lift a bit more from the tree, but you already know how to do it. I just didn't record the previous part. Sorry. And has anyone lost the pure white in the sun as well? There's one, yeah. So I will just show you how to achieve it again, but not on my work, maybe on some scrap of paper. Oh, this was recording. Maybe it will. Yeah, not bad. So that's the one case when you can use the whole brush, not just the edge or corner. It's not pure white, but it still would be easier to achieve the whiteness in a minute. Then I will use almost dry brush to smoothen out the transition between the light part and the dark one, and the movement of the paper towel is even important. Like it should go outside gently. Clear some more in the middle. And what I would do next is using gouache. Oh, didn't open it yet. It's obviously risky to start adding white gouache too early, but just for the sun, it might be a good idea. And we should use it in a slightly thicker form than watercolor, but not straight from the tube, like creamy, not texture, but consistency. Yeah, thank you. Sometimes it's not that easy to remember all of the.
Very well.
So we need to add some water, preferably clean water, to achieve the right consistency. You should do it on your palette or some additional scrap paper or something, and just put it in the middle. And then if we want the yellow ring around it, we should combine some transparent yellow with the gouache, for example. And just so that's quite cheating. It's better to cheat than to give up and never paint again. And then just smooth the edges so it looks like it wasn't cheating. So decide if you need to create the sun on your work. It's actually more vibrant in real life, but I can add a little dot of white in the center of mine as well, since we already have the gouaches here. Like this, and if I would have another clean brush, no, it would be easier. Because again, this should blend with whatever we had on our work previously. And even if those new lifted parts of the tree, the ones where we try to recreate the light, you can also add additional white mixed with yellow, just not too much. Sometimes just lifting color with the gray brush is enough. Something like this.
When it comes to lifting colour, is it easier to lift it off the cotton paper rather than say paper?
It depends.
Oh,
Sometimes the cheap paper is good enough.
You can lift it off that.
Yeah.
Some paints are more staining as well, so
Yeah.
Right, we're recording.
And maybe make it a little bit small.
I can see really well on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the pine tree, maybe, and just use whatever you already have. You can again try to blend a few colors together. So yellow and the golden ochre first, and I just like how it flows when it's wet. And this shouldn't be too stressful, right? You are doing this to have fun and to practice holding this little finger in one place.
You never start your trees at the top. When you paint the branches, you prefer to begin in the middle of the trunk?
There's no rule.
No.
Sometimes on top, sometimes not.
See, what's interesting is you're alternating your pressure, aren't you, as well? Sometimes you press down, perhaps, and sometimes
Yeah.
light. You can brush in different ways.
So you can see how much easier it is when you paint a bigger tree, right? It was kind of stressful to fit into those little area.
You've got to be critical with how much paint you put on the brush with the smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before the first color will dry, play with adding some more. And also maybe switch to green at some point. So for fun. So mostly we are practicing the little branches every now and then, and just preserving the whites as we paint. And also remember, it looks really nice when we let the green flow into the golden part. Yeah, so this is where the branch will be. And what makes it even faster for pine trees this big are sometimes flat brushes, if you have one at home. Mine is about an inch.
Could you just shrink the screen down just a little bit? Close it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry. So it's another way of stamping, you know, but mostly for the pine trees, not leaves. You can use mine if you want, and don't forget about this one as well. I guess you were mostly wanting to. You mostly wanted to practice painting with the brush, right? Not the tricks that are easy enough for everyone.
Guys, I've got some 1-inch flats at home. Do you want me to bring them in? You know that?
Maybe
Yeah,
they
I'll
will
bring it tomorrow,
practice,
yeah?
right? Well, some people do this wrong because they push too hard, mostly. But it should be easier. And faster. With the brushes with uneven hair, right? And if you try to do this all by your hand, it's slightly more time consuming. Since I added some purple, I need to maybe add a little dots of it on top as well. And just change color and let it flow. So yeah, the flat brushes and the uneven ones to make it faster, but then it's usually still necessary to do some work with the hands.
We tend to go to like to draw a triangle, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's the problem as well.
If we hold it like slightly tilted, the paint will flow to the bottom, and we can either continue to paint branches and leaves, or needles this time actually. And a nice transition between colors appear. Or if you don't have anything to do with the this excess paint, you can just use the paper towel as well. Oh, and then let's not forget the salt. If it's this big, we can even create some nice third dimension with the salt. I like when it's all done in one shade, right? Not the brown tree trunk. It usually somehow starts to look childish when it's too brown. Unless it's brown mixed with green, it's better. Or mixed with purple for me.
And it's not a straight line, it's disconnected. I like that because some branches are
Yeah.
in the way of the trunk. And
Also-
straight line.
Don't be too symmetrical. Sometimes you just need like the little ones close to the tree trunk, and sometimes more. Are you already excited to try it yourself?
Well, you've got the big patches of colour. You could go back in after it's dried and put branches over the top.
Oh yeah. It's not even that dry right now, so
Yes.
it might be.
Just leave it a while.
A bit of shadows in between those lighter colors might also work fine. And you can splash some paint as well. Just, I told you it was better to use the synthetic one, not imitation of squirrel.
Do you paint other types of trees besides fir trees?
Sorry?
Do you paint other types of trees besides these pine trees?
Yeah,
With all the ones you've brought her.
it's just easier to find photo
No,
for
that's
some
fine.
reason.
Yeah.
So, in case the salt wouldn't listen, remember you can have some fun.
How would you sort of paint like a cone? And you know, you get some pine trees like Scots pine,
Mm-hmm.
where they've got sort of like a hanging down, sort of.
Fir cone.
Yeah, but there's the Scots pine have like a tassel of sort of.
Yeah, do you
needles,
have
don't
a
they? It's like
photo maybe?
Yeah.
So,
What's the same like it was? One of the lunchtimes, that being a wander around at the end of the day, we are right in the area, this kind of area. There's lots of different shaped trees, especially towards the churchyard and all through.
With the arboretum.
So yeah, I was thinking that. We don't even need to go into the arboretum, probably, do we? We could just go up on the past the churchyard. I mean, if you're just looking out here, you'll see this kind of
Yeah, there's
spruce
one
type
here.
thing. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it might pay one of the lunch times maybe tomorrow if it's dried. And just maybe you can take a sketchbook.
Yeah.
I didn't bring one.
Do you take a sketchbook, Kate? And
No.
No. Okay.
It was too much stuff already.
Oh, don't worry, I've got. So I've only used a lot of observations. I don't actually do any sketching outdoors.
Okay, maybe it's your turn. Just know that once this is dry, I sometimes add even more. For example, this dark, or even darker. Yeah, it's too early for that, but the shadows between the branches could be the next step.
This isn't it?
Yeah.
And around
Well,
the
it
lighter
was a
parts,
tree,
it's
isn't it?
even better. So like adding a little dots of darker paint every now and then will make it more three dimension. Oh, here's dry enough to do the shadows. Yeah. So maybe go and try, and if we have time, maybe also some tree with leaves will be another we'll try.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is yeah, quite busy. Another thing that you can do is with this, when it's a tree that's this big. Yes. Adding even more third dimension with the little branches every now and then.
Done with a palette knife as well.
Yeah, but once it was still wet, right? And now we can decide afterwards, oh, I need a branch over here.
Graham,
Sorry?
what Kate's doing now, you see where it's really dark?
Yes.
She's going now and just lifting to get even more branches.
And I'm not even using any force because it was only one layer of paint.
That's why you need dark darks.
Yeah. So the tree trunk can be lighter at some points.
Retreat at your house, Graham, next time, so you can have a look at all your beautiful back garden. You've got the most stunning view.
I'll provide all the entertainment.
And what Carol will have to say about it.
So you can imagine how easy it would be for portraits to create like the hair that's almost as well backlit on a portrait, or maybe eyelashes even with this little handy brush. And basically, wherever you have a bloom that you don't like, you can make some branches to cover it.
What did you use? Nice. How very nice.
It's like the eyes in the Tiger. You see how effectively they create those. These boys sort of black colour rather than red because the artist will end up selling pencils and certain pencils.
It's your interpretation.
Well,
So we
yeah.
never can.
I just have to use one hand, yeah. So, yeah. But I think in the colour pencil, sorry, the Tiger, I think that gives a more detailed picture than pastel. So I think.
Both combined.
Oh yeah, absolutely good for the next photos, yeah.
So if you are going to practice at home, then go ahead and grab one of these. This is for you. I was going to give it on Monday, but if you are so excited you are going to come back home and paint, then maybe just take them.
Thanks for bringing those over. That's really nice to have it.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much.
It's expected.
And they have a really good price in Poland, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me.
She said that, and she just said, yeah, no, I thought.
We need to do this several times to see what works and not just work.
Oh yeah.
Right, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, yeah.
That bit works, that bit doesn't work.
So you've got the saw brush hanging around, but
I
you're not using
got
it. Do you use it? Using it or not? Yeah. Thanks. Schindler's List.
Oh yeah.
Schindler's List, yeah.
My playlist is sometimes scary, sometimes slightly too sad.
I've got the video, I haven't watched it yet.
I have a participant
years
of
now.
workshops in Poland who is not able to handle the soundtrack from the app, the Disney movie app, with the old man who travels with the balloons on top of the house, and the soundtrack is from the part when his wife dies. And
What?
yeah, and she always says, "Kasia, turn it off," or I will cry. Oh, and it was too wet back then to add even more shadows in between. But now that I have some branches, I can continue adding shadows. Maybe, for example, like try to fit in between those little lines that I just lifted. Do you see it even? Yeah. So if you thought it was nice in the beginning, it will be even better. Yeah. So I've heard you are quite excited about the idea of taking sketchbook and painting the trees outside. Maybe you need another course about just painting in sketchbook, or create a group of artists nearby and just meet and paint. I guess you already have each other numbers. Yes?
We've got a WhatsApp group, but we don't tend to do that. We should do it. It's a bit criminal that we're
Yeah.
in the middle of Arley.
Yeah.
Not
You
doing
live
something.
so close to each other and forests.
I know. But, you know, as the academy develops and I take my foot off the pedal a bit next year, then I'm hoping we can get to do stuff like that. To be honest, we've got other artists coming on now that I think like Sharon and stuff that will do encourage more sketchbooking techniques. Should do it in such a beautiful area.
A few years back, Sarah, just when you go and park in the car park, down by the river, when you go over the bridge and over there was a couple of people there that were painting the river and the bushes and everything else.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember who they were, but they just sort of came down there and the one, but they're both from Birmingham area, and I thought, yeah, why not? But it's a totally different ball game than doing it painting outdoors.
Right, you Alison, you've done outdoor, haven't you? You've done outdoor sketching.
No, it's on my list of things to do. I have a backpack packed. That's as far as I've got. It has everything I might need should I find the time and the energy need to use it.
I will do it. Most things are more time. It's a different mindset, isn't it? I get wound up working outside because you can't control the environment.
And then you look at some artists and the way they allow the environment to come into it.
Yeah. I know Jess and Amon next year, Jess Pritchard and Lindsay Pritchard are going to be doing sketchbook journaling. And incidentally, Maria that is here in the corner, she makes the most amazing sketchbooks from scratch. You go behind,
Oh.
yeah, she makes them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, she did a little, when Maria came to Andalusia and did a whole session for me on how to make your own
I
sketchbook.
like the script, the binding and everything.
Yeah, and the nice thing is you can use your own quality paper then, you can use
Right,
this kind of
okay.
paper.
Yeah, I got Tasha's favorite.
Absolutely
This one is without.
Absolutely lovely. Yeah. But yeah. I need to stop.
Are you Spanish?
Originally from Italy.
Sorry?
Italy.
Oh, right, Italy. Oh, okay.
Do you do much outdoor sketching? So
Yes, I started by painting inside. It's the same for painting inside. I bring using the same tools, so it's not confusing.
you bring what? Sorry, the
The
same
same
tools.
tools, the
Yeah.
same brushes, the
Yeah.
same paint, same painter if I can.
Yeah.
That the environment is different, but not the tools, so I find it better sometimes.
And you just hold the sketchbook on your knees or have
No,
a
I
full set?
I don't buy my sketchbook before going outside. I buy them after.
Ooh.
So I grab my sheets of paper with me,
Okay.
and I have a plexiglass, plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just tap it on the board, and that way I can carry only what I need. And when I decide if my sketchbook is finished, I buy it.
Oh, and that takes some stress away because if someone makes the perfect first page, it's scary to do another one
Yes,
because everyone wants their sketchbook to be perfect, and it's impossible.
but it's impossible, so you have to let go
Yeah.
with perfection. And when you make them, you can do funny things also, so things that open.
Yeah, I started a sketchbook to practice portraits and wanted to paint my kids on the first page, and it still waits because I'm afraid to start. So I
No
understand.
pressure there.
Yeah.
So this one I started when I arrived in Arles,
With this?
Yes.
Really?
I am by myself, so I can paint.
Oh, was that what you did in the Arboretum?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, right, yeah.
Beautiful. Did you already do this at home?
No,
This bit as well?
I did this in my room. I have my scissors, so I can cut paper.
So with this, did you add water first then the colour, or was this on dry paper?
On dry paper.
And
But
then
I paint very, very
Fast,
fast.
yeah.
Yes. And I have an oval brush that creates.
It's, yes. This is
This one.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
So you just have to play with pressure to create the leaves.
So these are single strokes?
Yes.
And what about the lines?
And the lines are with a one brush, a fine one.
Like a super.
It's a silver brush. I buy this on Jackson's.
Yes. That looks like print.
No, it's silver brush.
Oh, so
Like
it's still
that,
with the
that's-
makers, but that's it. Okay. That's beautiful.
Yes, I don't count realistic birds.
Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Very
Absolutely super.
I love the way you've cut around the edges as well.
Yes, I did a umbrella project.
Yeah.
It's a project where you choose a theme and you work every night during 100 days.
Very neat.
Last year, I did a thing
challenges
with
ahead of me.
putting shapes in the paper to see the page after. And now I'm using these techniques in sketchbooks.
Yes.
River?
I started doing
So
that.
where, yeah.
Little circle.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
I learned that from just a very, not as complicated as that, but Laura McKenzie did it in one of her courses on domestic where she cut a circle and reveal what's the other side of it, and it makes it really exciting as you want to turn the page.
Yes.
Oh,
I can
this is
choose them.
recorded.
It's beautiful. And not the way you cut them.
I love doing it because this last piece is very
Less